Hey guys, here's my week 2 top 10 in college football. At number 10, with one of the better wins now of the entire season, how about Oklahoma? After they took care of Michigan on Saturday night, the Sooners make their entry into the top 10. I loved what I saw from John Mateer. We'll see if they can keep it going again. Their schedule gets awfully tough, in particular in the SEC down the stretch. At number 9, still Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I know that they lost to Miami. I still believe that that is a team that is a top-tier college football team, so they stay in. Florida State at number 8. I'm impressed with the fact that they went out there and took care of business, put 77 points on the board after such a monumental win over Alabama in week 1. It shows me a lot of maturity. It shows me a lot of urgency and an internal standard of excellence that maybe they didn't have last year, certainly in a 2-win year. At number 7, Miami. They had that win over Notre Dame. They're going to welcome in South Florida this week, and we're going to find out a lot about Miami because South Florida, how about them? They've got wins over Boise State and the Gators in the Swamp. At number 6, I've got Texas. They bounced back. Arch looked better, not great. I hope that he's healthy at this point, but Texas is still a really talented team. And again, that defense is going to give them all the time in the world to develop on the offensive side because it's one of the better defenses in the country. At number 5, I've got Georgia. Now, I really struggled with Georgia at 5 because I did not like the way they looked against Austin Peay. It's not just that they only scored 28 points, but their starting quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, threw 34 passes. That's too many. I mean, in general, that's too many for them, but specifically against an FCS opponent, the 5 snaps at the 1-yard line before the half, not getting into the end zone. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and keep them in the top 5, but this is a precarious position for them in my rankings. At number 4, Penn State also did not look good against FIU, only 10-0 at the half. They need a better internal standard. I'm going to trust the experience. All of their big games are out ahead of them. I've got them at number 4. 3 teams that I think have had impressive showings during the course of this year. Oregon is going to be number 3. That's a really talented and fast team. And Dante Moore might be one of the better quarterbacks in the country. So the Ducks are rolling. No one's talking about Oregon. They're my number 3 team in the country. LSU with that big win over Clemson week 1 did not play well in week 2. Brian Kelly was frustrated with his team, but they get the win over Louisiana Tech, and they stay at number 2. And number 1 is Ohio State. How about that? Not only do they beat Texas, but they come out the very next week and just handle business, stand on business against Grambling. Julian Sand looked incredible. For all the talk about them not trusting him or not being aggressive down the field in the passing game in week 1, how about the aggressiveness in week 2? He looked great. If he's playing like that the rest of the year, Ohio State might go back-to-back. So they're my number 1 team in the country.